I was shaking when the jury came back. The judge asked if they had a verdict, and they said yes. And they began reading all the counts, and I heard guilty. And I just stared at the ceiling, and I just thanked God for finally making this happen. They didn't believe him, they believed me. That was the first time that that's ever happened. And it felt great. He couldn't manipulate the jury, and he could no longer manipulate me.
Amanda claims her stepfather, Earl Nix, molested and raped her from the age of 10 to 25. It wasn't an affair, it wasn't sex, it was rape. She says she told her grandmother Sharon in 2009, who in turn called DeeDee and told her. Sharon says DeeDee has allowed Earl to control her every thought and has even turned DeeDee against her own daughter.
My daughter DeeDee doesn't believe that anything happened to Amanda. She believes Amanda made the whole story up out of spite. When Amanda was about 10 or 11 years old, I got a phone call from DeeDee, and she told me Amanda had just told her that Earl was messing around with her. I told her, DeeDee, bring the kids over here and we'll figure this out. She never came over. She called me back and said Amanda made up the story.
That never happened. Even if I had told her that, knowing my mom, there's no way she would have let that go.
One time I was babysitting for DeeDee and Earl, and as I walked in the front door, Earl came walking down the hallway from the kids' bedroom, straightening his pants, and I just thought that didn't look good. On another occasion, Earl lay down on the floor in front of the television on his back. Amanda laid down on top of his legs, and her face was directly in his lap, and I looked at my daughter, and she looked away. Even in pictures, I noticed that Amanda would be clinging on him, hanging on him, holding his hand, having her arm wrapped in his like a girlfriend would. Several times over the years, I've tried to talk to my daughter, but she just brushed me off and told me I was imagining things.
My mom claims that I always knew and that I put my head in the sand. Well, if she always knew, why didn't she do anything about it? If I suspected that my granddaughter was being sexually abused, I don't care who I offended, I would call the authorities.
Well, Sharon, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Who knew what and when did they know it?
Well, I'm sitting here listening, and I've sat through the trial, and I don't know why, DeeDee, that you don't remember calling me, but you called me right after Mandy told you that the very first time when you
This is at 11 years of age.
Yes. And you said, I'll call you back, Mom. And I said, okay. And then when you did call me back is when you told me that you had been outside with Mandy and Earl, and that Mandy had said that it wasn't true. And I don't know why you can't remember that.
I don't remember that.
Well, it doesn't surprise me because your grandmother was just like that too. Anything bad, they don't remember.
Don't bring my grandmother into this. Do not bring my grandmother into this.
She's my mother, and I can bring up anything I want.
She'd be ashamed
And
of
you
all.
are my mother.
You are my mother.
I'm your
You
mother.
are my
Yell
mother.
at me.
You
Do
are
not
my
yell at
mother.
me.
Don't abandon me.
We are adults.
Don't
Do
abandon
not
me.
yell at
Yeah,
me.
we are adults, aren't we?
And it's exactly why you shouldn't call me a liar. You should have more respect for me too, because you did call me.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I don't remember
Well, I
calling
don't
you.
care if you remember or not, because I do remember,
So,
DeeDee. Like
you
you
take
said,
it
a
on
grandmother
your
isn't going to
place.
let that go. So when you called me, my heart fell to the floor. Don't tell me what I heard and what I
Don't
didn't
yell at
hear.
me.
I'll yell at you anytime I want to,
No, you
because
won't.
you can yell at my granddaughter
Dr.
that's
Phil,
your daughter.
I'm
Well,
done. Personal weapon.
Let's not deflect this situation here. We're here talking about your daughter.
Caleb,
And
I'm
What do
done.
you want him to do?
You're embarrassing yourself.
do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.